This is Shawn Irwin, your Youth Director with Darts Ontario. Welcome to episode 7 of Darts Ontario, Let's Talk Darts. I wanted to talk to our youth players from past and present to see how they got into darts and their story. I'm with Darts Ontario senior female singles runner-up and 2020 Team Ontario member Steph Tedesco, formerly of the Toronto Youth Dart League. Thank you for taking the time to answer some questions so the dart community can get to know more about Stephanie Tedesco. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. So I want to talk a bit about your dart career. When did you start playing darts? How old were you?
Well, I started picking up darts when I was 10 or 11. I would just kind of throw for fun with LaTressa because she lived in my building and we were good friends. And then she kind of inspired me to go into the league and actually become better. So
yeah, she's been playing for a long time, so yes. So she inspired you to play competitively?
Yeah, her and her mom, they had a meeting with the Toronto Youth Dart League, and her first year playing for Toronto Youth, I actually went and signed up too.
Oh, that's great. And how often do you practice during the season when you're in the youth program? And did you ever practice in the off season?
I love playing in the off season. I play at my trailer park and with some friends from my league. In the on season, this year I played a lot. I played maybe 4 to 5 hours every single day.
Wow.
Yeah, I was dedicated.
Well, and the results prove that, and we'll talk about that in a few moments. Now, I know practicing sometimes isn't as fun as playing a real game, but how did you make practicing fun?
So I got to play with a few adults this year. So I learned a bit from them on the mindset of the game, as well as how to properly fix my stances and just relax during a game. But I actually have a machine that plays with me. So if I play on a certain mode, I can change the difficulty. So every time I beat it, I would beat a certain mode, I would just go to another mode until I could beat that mode. And it just kind of it gets to the point where you're just I don't want a machine to beat me. So you beat the machine.
Yeah. I haven't heard of that machine. I think that should be shared out through social media so more people can have a chance as well. So, and how'd you prepare yourself during those big games that you played?
I just breathed and just tried to relax and just calm my nerves. I just tried to play it like it was any other game and just keep my focus and not get stressed out.
Well, we know darts is a very emotional game, so being able to control those emotions are huge. So that's what you did. But what's the best part of competing in darts for you? And what's the most important thing about the game of darts?
I love the socializing aspect. When I was younger, I really didn't talk to a lot of people. And once I joined darts, I found a place where I fit in and I just clicked with a lot of people. So the friendships are definitely fun. And honestly, winning is just a bonus. So, I mean, I'm very competitive, so I like to win. But if I don't win, then it's not the end of the world. I'll just do my best for the next time.
Well, you've always had great sportsmanship, win or lose. You've always been there and smiling. So it's always been great to see.
Thanks.
After a good performance and the match is over, what's the one thing you like to do after you finish a match?
I always want to go see my opponent and just congratulate them or just give them a handshake or just be good game. I just want to make sure that everything is cool in the air and that the game doesn't come between a potential friendship. And I just want to make sure that the other person's okay and that we're okay.
Yeah. Now, if your match doesn't go well, how do you stay focused to get ready for the next match?
I just try to breathe and just wipe it off. I'd rather win the next 3 than sit down and just reflect on the past on something that I can't change. I'd rather just do something to change what I can.
Well, I'm just going to read a little bit here. So a little history with you competing at Darts Ontario. Thanks to the website, I can get all kinds of information because I don't remember everything.
I don't remember either. It's been
Well,
7 years.
here you go. Let's see if you remember. 2016 at zones, you finished second and top four in 2017. You finished in zones first in 2018. And then at provincials in 2017, you finished top 8. And 2018 and 2019, you finished top 4. And then your final year as a youth, which is this year, you made it to the stage and finished second in Ontario and became a 2020 Team Ontario member. Tell us about that weekend back in March at provincials of getting on stage for the first time and making the team.
It was crazy. There was a lot of like pressure this year with getting to stage, especially for my league. We had a huge loss in our league, and that person really pushed me throughout my dart career. So it was really, really hard. But I wanted to do it for him, and that pushed me even more, especially because it was my last year. So I had a lot of different things kind of pushing me to win, and I just really wanted to make through and come through on that.
And how did you do on day one at provincials?
Day one I did good. I believe I came first in my section. I think. Maybe I came second. I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was so long ago.
And do you remember day two when it started? You had your round robin in day two before knockout.
Pardon?
On day two you had your second round robin matches. And how did you make out? I know you had to come first or second to make knockout. But how did you do in those round robin games?
In the round robin, I was really, really stressed. But I just kept sitting there and I just kept thinking, like, a few more games to stage. You've been here before. You can do it, like, two times for top 4. Like, I know the spot. I'm comfortable there. And it was just like, come on, you got to do it this time.
Well, that's great. Remember a few years ago, Brianna Robia, she finished top 8, the next year top 4, and then her last year she won it all and finally made nationals. So I know we didn't get to go to nationals this year, and hopefully next year with the adult program that you can get yourself there. But tell us about your friendships you made throughout the leagues in Darts Ontario program, not just Toronto, but all the leagues.
I've made a lot of different friendships, and like I really appreciate them. I think it's always nice to like be able to go to outside tournaments and be able to see friendly faces and know that like you guys have like a connection and you can talk to that person, even if it's not just about darts. I've made friends with Brianna. I'm friends with Mackenzie, Kingsmill. We talk a lot. I have some friends out in the Barrie team. And in the London, and I also have a friend from Kingston as well. So I've made quite a few friends, and especially with the adults too, because I used to like volunteer a lot. So I've made quite a few friends with them. So I'm nervous going into adults, but at least I know a few faces.
That's great. But isn't that what it's all about? Is just that social aspect of Darts Ontario and meeting so many people with over 300 dart players in Ontario playing youth darts. So
yeah.
So what are your plans next year moving out of the youth program and going into the adults?
I want to join a pub in Scarborough City Dart League and just start and not apply, but I'm going to play zones hopefully and just do my best. I'm not expecting to like win or anything because I know it's like way harder competition, but I'm excited for the challenges.
There's a lot of competitions in the adults for sure. A lot more ladies when it gets to the adult program. So tell me, how did you become so good at calculating in your head? Because when you're at the dartboard and you've got to shoot something, you have to know exactly what to shoot for so you can keep the game going. What has helped you to improve that part of your game?
So I just got to the point where I know pretty much all of my outs and finishes. But like, I didn't really start chalking until my 3rd or 4th year playing. Because I was like really nervous about it. Because like if you mess up, then like people get mad at you. But once I got over that, I started chalking a lot. Like I was chalking for volunteer hours for school. I was chalking at my tournaments when I was finished games. And honestly, chalking just kind of like helped me grasp calculating in my head faster. Once you get used to it, it's kind of easy to put like certain things together, especially if like you've seen the numbers so many times. It kind of just becomes secondhand nature. But like I didn't really know my outs, and this year like I really kind of cracked down on that. I have like a notebook and I wrote all of the outs a whole bunch of times and just kept like memorizing them, and then I would go to the board and play 170 and just like continuously work on my outs.
Now, with your outs, your out card, we give that to you, so it gives you a guideline, but we all know that sometimes those outs are not the right out for that time of the game. So it's getting to know those different outs as well.
Mm-hmm.
So who are some of your biggest supporters as you compete in darts?
My biggest supporters, definitely my parents and my grandparents. They always try to make an appearance at either Legions or provincials. And my mom is heavily involved with like the league too. She likes to help out. My league is also insanely supportive. All of my team members and my directors, they were very supportive the whole season, and they were just like, we believe in you, like this is your year, you can do this. And it's just really.
That's great. Now, do you play any other sports, or have you played other sports?
I used to play sports like in school and stuff, but since I like got out of school, I don't really play that many sports. I really just focused on darts because it's something that I really excelled in, and I just wanted to put all of my energy into it.
Do you have any other hobbies besides any darts or sports?
I do makeup, and I like to draw and paint. I like artists.
Now, do you have a favorite opponent you like to play against? And if there's one player in the world that you'd love to play against, who would that be and why?
Well, I definitely, like, when I go to tournaments, the first person I spot out to play against is Mackenzie, because I know that she'll give me a run for my money. Like, I have to work to beat her, and it just makes me a better player, and we make each other better players. So I appreciate that. Like, it's just really fun to play with her. She makes it really light and airy, and it's not so it's not stressful. And I also like to play against Trinity Carlson. Her too. Like, I remember her first provincials, she came up and she was like, all right, like, I want to play you. And I was like, okay, cool. And she opened up with a 180, and I was just like, what? Okay. They're just really good players.
Yeah, and Trinity went to nationals the one year as well. And Mackenzie said a few things about you of loving to play you as well. So it's great to see the friendship.
Yeah.
Now, how many years did you play in the Toronto Youth Dart League? And tell us about your experience in such a well-established league that Toronto is.
I've played in the league for about, I'm 19, I started when I was 12. Yeah, it was about 7 years ago. It's been a long time. It's been awesome. Like, I've made so many friends. I didn't really know going into darts, like my first year, that I was going to create such like lifelong friendships throughout the way.
Yeah.
And I just really appreciate everything that darts has done for me, and everyone within the dart community has done for me. It's like a second home. And I don't know, everyone's just kind of got each other's backs, and it's nice.
Well, this next question might have something related to that, but besides making the team, tell us some of the greatest memories, moments you've had in youth darts.
Definitely the Legion trips. Legions are definitely my favorite time of year, because we usually get the hotels, and there's a lot of times. I remember this one year in London, all of us were in the hallway, and the girls were doing each other's makeup, and then we're like, hey guys, let's do your makeup. So we had like 3 of our boys from our team sit down, and we were all just doing their makeup, and it was just hilarious. We took pictures and everything.
I think we should get those pictures and put them on Facebook.
Kill me.
I bet they would. So as we wrap this up, one more question. Any advice that you would give to the youth players now to help follow your success in darts?
Just don't get discouraged. Like, don't think that a loss is the end of the world. It just betters you. The more you play, the more you're going to learn. Like, every time you lose, you're going to figure out how to fix what went wrong. You're going to become better and like smarter and like just faster at calculating and like knowing what you have to hit. Yeah, and just play your game. Don't try to be better than other people. Just better yourself.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you, Stephanie, for taking the time and talking to us. I hope you reach your goals, and hopefully we see you at some tournaments and, of course, the adult provincials next year. So thank you very much for doing this with us.
Thanks, Shawn.
All right. Bye now.
Bye.
That was Steph Tedesco. Always great talking to our youth players and now former youth players. Always sad seeing them go into the adult program, but it's great as they continue on playing darts with the adult program. Now make sure you go to our website at www.dartsontario.ca. Here you'll find all the information about our organization, and make sure you go to our Facebook page where you can get all the recent updates. Are you a former or current member of Darts Ontario in the youth program? If you'd like to be on one of our episodes, please email me at youth@dartsontario.com. This is Shawn Irwin, your youth director of Darts Ontario, and we will see you during our next episode, which is episode 8 of Darts Ontario, Let's Talk Darts. You don't want to miss the next episode, as number 8 will be with our final Team Ontario member for 2020. Thank you and have a great day.